I think everyone on YouTube has some kind of motivator or some kind of, I guess, model who they saw that they liked so much that they wanted to make their own YouTube channel. I think for a lot of people, especially around my age, Angry Video Game Nerd would probably be like a big one, a big influence. Yeah. Even the people who are not directly influenced by Angry Video Game Nerd are influenced by people who were influenced by Angry Video Game Nerd. So he just kind of like opened it up for everyone. What were you watching, or what inspired you to go, hey, I should do something like that?
So yeah, it's a long story, and I'm going to try and really give it to in a really bulleted fashion. So I come from entertainment industry.
Porn, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, well, okay. I didn't want to say that. I wasn't sure how.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was off taboo to talk about.
Yeah, I call this the PandaSub. That's okay. right here. And I was actually about to make an independent film that I was going to fund myself. It was like as independent as you could possibly get. And long story short, couldn't. So what I wanted to do was kind of make a sci-fi comedy series. And that's what PandaSub2000. Originally, the whole idea was kind of a sci-fi comedy series that also, since I was going to be putting it on YouTube, that it would also, while telling this kind of ongoing series that I had written, it also merged in with it nostalgia stuff, looking back at certain games and stuff like that, etc. And there's a reason for it. I'm not going to bore you. Anyway, that was that.
I would have never even dreamed of this kind of content being a viable option without someone like James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, breaking that ground for us and carving out a path for more, outside the box type ideas.
I think everyone is going to look to him as some form of inspiration.
Yeah.
Some people may just gravitate towards just liking the idea of the rage quit or the pairing and all that other stuff. I looked at it more probably where I'm confident you would agree in more the cinematic approach in, hey, we don't just have to do a review the way we've been seeing it on G4 and every other thing forever. It doesn't have to be a documentary. We can actually tell a story around it. We can insert our own personality, our own writing, our own, humor, whatever it may be, into it. And it can be this really creative process where some people might even enjoy
the thing I'm wrapping around the review, more so than the review itself. Mm-hmm. So when I saw him, I went, oh, okay, great. There's a gaming audience out there, ready for something a little different. And I would say that's entirely all thanks to him.
And I'd say the second person that really kind of confirmed it for me was actually drdisrespect. Mm-hmm. I loved the idea that here on the other end, he's not making edited reviews or anything like that, but as far as a live stream, he in a sense is telling a narrative, right? He's got different environments that he's walking around in, and he's got this whole backstory to his character, and he's playing a character, and he's reacting in character. And so again, I'm seeing like, okay, here's a guy who's playing a game where some people may not even be interested in the game, but they're interested in that character. They're interested in that world that he's made. And so I looked at these two things, and it was like right up my alley.
Because I love games, I love the history of games, and I love playing them, etc.
But I never wanted to just be like, okay, I'm going to stream a game, or here is a review of a game. I wanted to make things around it. That way it gave you an experience of something that hopefully even lends some credit to the actual thing that we're reviewing or the actual thing that we're playing. It boosts and enhances that just as much as it enhances my work.
Because you do have a lot of different types of content on your channel.
Yes.
Because I, of course, love the Saga series.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you also have your live content, and yes. Right now, you're the only one I will go on Rumble to watch. That's not true. You're the main one. You're the main one I go on Rumble to watch. It's very, very popular to live stream right now. No disrespect to anyone, but I think it's kind of low-hanging fruit content to make. It's so easy just to pop on a camera and plug a game and have your live chat and block people you don't like and what have you. What you do with your live streams is unlike what anyone else does, at least not that I've seen. You almost take like a variety show format where I feel like if you could somehow do like a yo-yo trick segment, you would squeeze that in there.
Sadly, we still can't make that one work, but man, am I trying.
Oddly enough, I wasn't actually influenced by Angry Video Game Nerd. When I first watched him, it didn't even cross my mind that I could do anything like that. it didn't inspire me to make my own because I was like, how the hell am I going to do something like that? However, when he had Pat the NES Punk on his what was the rare game, the Nintendo World Championship episode. Right. When he had Pat on there, I looked at Pat's YouTube content, and that was actually the point where I said, well, I could make something like this.
Yeah.
Because I will say this about Pat. Angry Video Game Nerd obviously inspired a horde of angry video game reviewers on YouTube. Pat didn't do that. For as much as he lifted from Angry Video Game Nerd, he's still kind of remained kind of a happy video game nerd. And I kind of like the more positive approach that he took. Even though I'm saying that as someone who's calling him an influence, and yet I don't really do a lot of positive stuff on my channel. But I like that he wasn't angry. So that's kind of what originally kind of clicked with me. Anything beyond that, how I felt about Pat since then, irrelevant. He was my original influence, for better or worse.
Yeah, well, no, I don't even necessarily know if it's even fair to say that, that Pat took anything necessarily from avgn. I think he saw it as, oh, okay, like this kind of review can work. And I think he found his own style and I think he embraced his own gimmick.
Where I've seen so many others, carbon copy lift from avgn. So I wouldn't lump him necessarily in with any of the clones. I definitely think he had more unique takes than many of the rest.
That's fair. He did. I don't know if I would say because I didn't watch him before I saw Angry Video Game Nerd or anything, so I don't know what he was doing before, if he was doing anything before. But he did also include the skits and stuff, like his Rob the Robot and his Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. animals were talking to him. So he had not quite alternate reality, but just kind of a fictional reality.
A Pee-wee's Playhouse almost. Of just,
yeah, kind of. I don't know if that was exactly what he was going for, but
no.
I did kind of like that idea of having a fictional version of yourself instead of just being a talking head holding up a game and, hey, this is my favorite N64 game.
Well, you didn't allow me to bring on puppets. That was a mistake.
That's fair. So thank you for at least beaming your video from your spaceship.
You're quite welcome.
You've said multiple times you had no plans and you don't consider yourself a lead guy, or you never wanted to be on camera. You never wanted to be an actor, but you do it so well. Like it was something that struck me about you from the very beginning. Coming back to that Retro Roots episode, you completely controlled the conversation, but you didn't dominate it. I feel like you are someone in a lab created a host kind of person, and you were the result. So you are really good at crafting a good experience for the viewer without actually being necessarily a focal point. Like you kind of make the audience the focal point.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's the goal, right? To me, that's the goal. And it could just stem from how much I am shy on. Believe it or not, I'm very shy on camera. I'm a behind the camera guy in a perfect world. Like that was the goal. I wanted to make my sci-fi comedy series. Unfortunately, that's taking me so much time. I've had to work on that in the background and do live streaming as kind of the main focus as working on all the episodes. So being the on-camera guy, okay, well, I don't believe in my abilities necessarily to host this thing. And I don't even like that responsibility because I just love talking to people. I like interacting with people. I like having a really good time. If I can make someone laugh, great, but I enjoy laughing even more. Mm-hmm. So if I can create situations and scenarios where people are making me laugh and people are having a good time and we're all just at a bar with friends just having a fun time shooting the crap with one another, well, then mission accomplished, right?
Yeah.
And I've always loved conversation, much to the dismay of every girlfriend I've ever had in the world who can't wait for me to shut up. I always want to make the conversations keep going. So I would find ways of well, what can I say to make this conversation keep going? What can I say to make someone take their conversation, look at it from a different angle, or continue it on this way, or dissect it and look at it from this angle, right? Mm. So it's just that joy of conversation that I have, and don't like doing it myself, rambling. So I try to create an environment that's encouraging for the chat and the guest to. That's kind of been my philosophy.
It's, I think, a unique skill that I may be reluctant skill that you've taken on, but I haven't seen anyone else do it. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hats off. It's a dirty job. Someone's got to do it. And I would absolutely recommend anyone who's watching this, who hasn't watched this, man, go check out this goofy guy on his channel. It's hard not to look at you and laugh and laugh. Just kidding.